Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Drake, and this is Touching the Edge. And I'm so happy to see you here today. I'm happy to see you here because I'm interested in how your life works, and I'm interested in what you feel are your major challenges, or what you feel is your most major challenge. What do you feel is the most challenging element of your life? I would suggest that it's not what we feel like it is. It's not what we feel like our major challenges. When you feel like it's challenges in your family or challenges in the world, not that those things are not incredibly important, but I would suggest that your biggest challenge is your relationship to your own emotions. How you view things through the lens of your own emotions, because that's how we view the world. And so when we are viewing the world through our emotions and we see our emotions as of primary importance, so important that we actually identify with our emotions, then everything we see is colored by it. And what we're dealing with is not truly the situation, but how we feel about the situation. So I want to ask you to shift your relationship to your emotions and understand that they are not static. They don't stay the same. People describe themselves as an angry person or a fearful person or a person who's depressed. In fact, we even get diagnoses that identify ourselves as those things. I would suggest that you are not your diagnosis. There's something in you deeper than what anyone can define you to be. So the emotions, instead of being solid, are much more like the northern lights. They're shifting consistently. You're feeling something in your emotional world right now, but it's not stabilized. We as human beings want things to stay the same, even if it is what we don't want to be. What I'm suggesting is, if you have a tendency to worry, you will look for things to worry about. So I want to ask you to do a brief practice with me right now. Just relax, breathe, don't collapse, sit tall, breathe nice and easily, and just get in tune with yourself. I'm going to tell you four emotions I'm feeling right now. I'm breathing, I'm in contact, slowing my breathing down. I'm feeling a sense of hopefulness for the world, that there are people who are determined to connect and bring peace to the world. I'm feeling a wonder, a curiosity if people will watch this video. I feel a tremendous joyousness in that I do what I feel I am here to do, and don't so much focus on the outcomes. Of course, many times I do. Everyone wants their work to be well received, but the success for me is in the doing of the work, and that's what I'm feeling. I feel some anxiety because, and some concern for the world. That's part of what I feel. Now, I'm going to ask you to support me in releasing these emotions. So I'm going to take a nice breath in, side up into the ether. Let the breathing coming back to normal, and I bring my awareness right into the heart. So I would like to suggest to you that you have a baseline emotion. The baseline of your emotions is sort of like the pages of a book. You can have lots of different things written on that book. It could be the Bible or some other text, maybe something that really feels really not reprehensible, but it's still written on the same blank pages. Your baseline emotion is a slight hopefulness and an affection for yourself. So we're slightly hopeful and affectionate towards ourselves. Now that baseline doesn't need to grab your attention. When you feel really angry or fearful, it grabs you and shakes you. And so it's hard to focus on other things. But when we release that emotion into the ether, what remains is that baseline sense of unconditional love. So let me ask you, just take a moment, just breathe, relax your jaws, and now speak it out loud. Four emotions you're feeling right now. Don't just say the obvious ones, say the emotions behind the emotions. Breathing nice and easily. And take that nice, easy breath and sigh up into the ether. With the breathing, come back to normal. Now, how do you feel right now? Can you feel that baseline underneath all those other emotions stacked on top? Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. We need to change, and that means you need to change, just like me. I bring my hands in the prayer position and bow to you. Namaste.